Hi everybody, I'm Den Haring and welcome back to Fishden365. Today we're going to do a review of 2018, the most memorable moments of 2018. It's New Year's Eve day today. It's the last day of 2018, so it seems appropriate to talk about some of the most memorable moments of the year. Along with that, I'll be showing some of my best fish catches of 2018. I caught a lot of nice largemouths, especially this year, and a couple of big smallies to go with it. So what I would like to do is just go from month to month, from January 2018 all the way through December 2018, the most memorable moments of each month. Let's get started. So in January, I started the year out right by putting out the best video that I've put out, at least numbers-wise. It got more views than any other video that I've ever put out, and it was how to fish the Larue Biffle bug. And I expected, when I did that video, I fully thought that it should be one of the better videos I did. And it's simply because I showed so many ways that you can fish that lure, so many effective ways to fish the Biffle bug. The thing is probably the most versatile soft plastic lure out there, or one of them anyway. And it's in my top three. If I was given, a choice of three soft plastic lures, that would be one of the ones that I would choose without even having to think about it, because it's just so versatile. I caught a lot of fish on it in 2018, drop shotting with it, pulling the side legs off, using it on a drop shot, using it as a jig trailer. There's just so many ways you can fish it. I caught a big one on that using it the standard way, on the Biffle bug hardhead. That works just as well too. But that was a great video. If you haven't watched that video, if you haven't watched how to fish the Larue Biffle bug, you might want to take a look at it. I promise there's some things on there that you may not have thought of in the past. February rolled around and I decided to do a video that I was teetering back and forth on whether I should do it or not, because it was giving away some secrets. But I ended up doing the video. It was about how to fish for striped bass in lakes and rivers. The simplest way I know how to catch them, and it has to do with the alewife spawn. It has to do with spawning bait fish and fishing at night in the spring. This is typically May and June time frame, and it works on all of the lakes in the area here in southeastern PA that have stripers and alewives in them. Take a look at that one if you have an interest in fishing for nighttime stripers. It is a very effective way of fishing for them. In March, I did a video that I misunderstood something that I watched. I was watching a Mark Zona video about fishing blade baits, and he was fishing a very unusual blade bait that I did not recognize and was catching a lot of largemouth bass on it. And then when he showed his blade bait box, this lure was not part of it. So I thought this must be some type of secret lure. So I was zooming in on that lure, trying to understand it, and it looked like a spoon with a hole in the very top of it near the middle of the spoon, so that you can fish it like a spoon, in that it'll fall like a spoon, but when you lift up on it, it would wiggle like a blade bait would. And so I started taking some spoons that I had and started modifying and experimenting with them, and sure enough, the action was incredible. Later on, I found out that it was a bait that was marketed. It's a Sibyl Vibrato, which is a great lure. They're a little on the expensive side, but they do catch fish. I've played with them since, and they're good lures. But you could also make your own by just taking a spoon and drilling out a hole in the top of the spoon. If you want to learn more about how to do that, take a look at that video. April rolled around and I became reacquainted with a lake I haven't fished in 25 years. It was Lake Onalani. It's shore fishing only. I don't know why I left it alone so long. That lake is phenomenal. People go there, but you can't take a boat out there. The only way you can access the entire lake is through the ice if the winter is cold enough, and not every winter is in this part of the state. In the last few years, there's been a few weeks where they were able to ice fish it. But the thing is just full of largemouth bass, very big fish. It's got a lot of bait fish. It's got perch and all types of sunfish. It's got white perch in there. So there's a really good system of food in that lake. And then a lot of the shoreline gets weeded up very thick in the summertime, both lily pads and milfoil and some other weeds. Very hard to access those fish for a long part of the year. And so many of those fish in that lake, they don't ever see a fishing lure. And so it's an easy lake to fish, even though you can only fish from shore. And I had a very good April day there fishing a jig with it was a swim jig with it. It had I was using a Dirty Jigs finesse swim jig, and I had a trailer. The trailer was a Kitech Swing Impact Fat. I chose colors that kind of imitated the white perch. And take a look, I caught a number of nice bass. It was funny because I started the day out fishing a Senko. It seemed like a slow start, but as the day progressed to later afternoon and early evening, the bite picked up. I switched over to the jig, to the swim jig, and I just caught some beautiful fish. Take a look. Now that is a pig, folks. Holy crap. Look at the size of that guy. Look at that pig. All right. Later, dude. Oh, he banged into my feet. All right. Now that is why I come out here. That was a beautiful fish. Whew. What a friggin' thing. Another one. Got it. That's another pig. Oh my gosh, I think he's just as big as the last one. Maybe not. But he's not bad. Ooh, yeah. Swim jigs and Senkos. They make a good combination. 2.5, maybe 3. Not like that last one. Wow. It's getting interesting out here, folks. Very interesting. As far out as I can chuck the bait. Get the bottom and then just quickly get it going. And they're all over it. Swim jig. Another one. Oh, oh my goodness. Holy crap. He just stopped it right here in front of me. Another pig. Another giant bass. Jiminy Christmas. This guy's a pig too. He's as big as that other one. Oh my goodness. Look at this guy. Wow. This is why I go fishing. Man, are they freaking chomping right now. Holy shiver. Wow. Wow. Look at that pig. May rolled around and I switched gears to start fishing squarebill crankbaits. I had a day at Nakamixon where I caught a smallmouth that was 5.55 and I caught a largemouth that was just under 6 pounds on the squarebill. It was a great day out there. Take a look at those.
Oh my gosh, it's a giant bass. Holy crap. Oh, I gotta get this one. This is the biggest bass I've seen. Stay big, baby. Oh, she's a pig. Oh my gosh. Come here, come here, come here. She's barely hooked. Come here. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah, it's a smallmouth. Oh my gosh. It's a giant smallmouth. Oh my gosh, giganto smallmouth.
Look at that smallmouth, folks. That's the longest smallmouth I ever caught, that's for sure. 5.55 on the scale, but look how long that fish is. I gotta measure it. I'll tell you what it is after I measure it. It's got to be nearly 23 inches. Just under 24 inches, folks. Gonna get her back in the water.
Nice. Now that's the way to end the day, man. Look at that. Fat one.
Then again in May, I went to one of my favorite lakes in Shahola, and I got into a topwater bite using a mouse. I caught a 6-pounder on the mouse, and that was a fun fight. Take a look at that one. I think my best largemouth of the year also came in May. I was fishing Lake Wall and Paul Pack. We had a lot of rain and the lake was very high, and I found some flooded timber in the back of a cove in the lake. It looked like a jungle back there. It almost looked like I was fishing somewhere down south, but it was Lake Wallenpaupack. And I just started fishing in there. I caught a big perch, and then I caught probably the prettiest largemouth of the year, a really beautiful 6-pounder, really nice fish. Take a look at that action.
Largemouth here, folks. Oh my! I'm gonna have to weigh this guy. My goodness. That's what I'm talking about. Bloody tail. This guy's been spawning fish. Giant largemouth. Let's put it back. Sure, she's gonna be okay. See you later.
You know, that largemouth had me so excited, I played a few chords on my Daiwa guitar. Take a look. In June, I reached 250 subscribers. I had my subscriber giveaway. I gave away a topwater lure that you can no longer get called Norman Top Dollar. That was a lot of fun. And I also fished a really easy rig that caught a lot of fish. It was a fun video to make. It was just a simple zoom fluke. You can fish the fluke junior or the super fluke or the regular size fluke. And it was just nose hooking the fluke, a special technique of nose hooking the fluke, and with a small hook that allows you to fish it in a more finesse way, and great action on it. You can fish it on top, you can let it go to the bottom, and I caught a lot of fish on that, and that was one of my better videos of the year. I'll show you a few fish catches from that one. I was at the Delaware River, caught some smallmouths, and I was also at a couple of lakes catching largemouths on it. It seems to work no matter where you use it. July rolled around. It's sweet beaver time for me in July. That's when I pitch that bait a lot. So I made a video on how to fish the sweet beaver. It was a good video. I catch a lot of fish every year on that lure. I also did an interesting video on why I fish tournaments that you may want to take a look at. As August rolled around, we were getting deeper in summer. I did a couple of videos, one bass in the grass, how to fish milfoil for largemouth bass. Sometimes conditions get tough. If they don't hit the standard plastics with Texas rig plastics, sometimes you have to change things up a little bit. Maybe fish a drop shot in the weeds, for example. Sometimes that could be quite effective. Also did some frogging for bass in August, one of my favorite ways to catch them, frogging the pads. In September, I made a video called Topwater Bite on Thursday night. It was actually fishing a tournament, and I got into a great toad bite in some lily pads on Lake Nakamixon. I took second place in that tournament. 2 weeks later, I won the tournament doing something completely different, but I have no video for that because half of that tournament was in the dark, and that's when I caught my fish. Here's a toadfish from the Thursday night.
He's a heavy one though.
October rolled around, and for me, that's always time to hit Lake Wallenpaupack. The surprise was this year I thought I would catch a lot of smallmouths like I typically do, and what happened was I found a school of largemouths in a cove, and it was largemouth after largemouth for a while, and then that shut off, and then I went after smallmouth, and I got a nice smallmouth before the end of the day, so that was a memorable trip. Take a look.
And this is going to be a good day, folks. First cast with the beaver. Another largemouth. I'll take these all day long. They're not giants, but they're fun to catch. I'm getting all of it too. They want it. They're getting all of it. Oh, I got him on the side of the face. That was luck. He definitely tried to eat it though. He just could not get the hook in his mouth, but he finally did. This is why I'm using a bigger bait. Bigger bait, bigger fish, beautiful smallmouth.
In November, I got together with a bunch of fishing buddies like we have in the last few years. We fished our third annual tournament among friends at Canisius Lake in New York, and we had a blast. The smallmouth fishing there is phenomenal in November, and that's what we went for. We were up there fishing smallmouths, and none of us came away disappointed because the lake is just really good at that time of year. And then this month, I did an unboxing video that a lot of people really enjoyed because it was a lot of the baits that I'm preparing to get ready for next year to fish with. I can't wait to get out there and fish all these baits. I also did a good blade bait tutorial in this month of December. If you haven't seen that yet and you're interested in blade baits, it's everything you need to know to catch fish on blade baits. And that's my year in review. It was a fun year. I grew a lot this year, in both personally in my fishing endeavors and also growing the channel. I'm up to 473 subscribers now, so I'm getting very close to 500. When I get to that 500, I'll be doing another giveaway, so another video will come out shortly in regard to that. So looking forward to doing that, and I'm looking forward to a great 2019. I want to take you all along with me again when I go fishing. I just can't wait to get out there. Hopefully the weather will be such that we can get out in January and February, because I will. If the weather's good and the water's not hard, I will be fishing those months one way or another. And then as we get into spring, things will just get better and better and improve more and more. Looking forward to 2019. Some of my goals are to get back to striper fishing a little more, catch some more stripers, Certainly want to catch some big largemouths and smallmouths in a number of different ways, and bring that video to you to teach you how to fish different techniques. Always trying to grow my repertoire of how to fish and be effective with different methods, and I want to share that with you. That's one of my biggest goals for 2019 is to share different ways to catch fish, modifications that can make a big difference, things that I learn, what to look for on lakes, rivers, streams, pits and ponds, wherever I'm fishing. And I look forward to bringing that to you and having this exchange back and forth using the YouTube channel. I really appreciate you as my viewers. I hope you'll continue to watch in 2019. I'm looking forward to a good year. I hope everyone has a happy and healthy new year. Remember, we're certified Bassified. I'm Den Haring for Fishden365. May God bless your fishing endeavors.